South Africa is part of Africa, and Africa has a tremendous need for education. And my goal to bring this society to South Africa is twofold. One, to have fun, for the society to have a great time in Africa, and secondly, to bring education to my country. The Congress next year is in Pretoria, which is our capital city. South Africa is a country of first world centers in a sea of third world. So you will have a conference center that is as good as any that we've been privileged to visit. The hotels will be 5-star and as good as that we've experienced here. But outside these centers, you will be exposed to shanty towns, to poverty, to beggars on our roads. But we are a country that is developing rapidly, and I've been privileged to see great change since the days when I was a student in Cape Town. Cradle of humankind. We believe in Africa that the Homo sapiens started in Africa, spread up through Asia, and then to Europe and the rest of the world. And outside Johannesburg is a marvelous archaeological site, and it's certainly worth a visit. A few of the great anatomists that have studied in Johannesburg, Raymond Dart was the first. Tremendous work that he did, and of course you'll know about the Leakey family in East Africa. Philip Tobias, who recently died, took over as the professor of anatomy, and also tremendous work that these great men have done. And then of course we come to Nelson Mandela, who changed South Africa, but also changed the way we thought of our country. I don't think thought that in our lifetime we would get peace in South Africa, but Nelson Mandela did that. And of course, joining him was de Klerk, and it was really these two, both of them were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, and we've just seen amazing change in South Africa. A little thing, the World Cup, we call the World Cup is the Rugby World Cup. I see here Vladimir calls the World Cup soccer, and I suppose the rest of you do as well. But Nelson Mandela united the country in 2010. Rugby was a sport of the whites. He made it a sport for all South Africans. So we'll be joining the South African Thoracic Society next year. And we've, in the last about 5 years, have seen tremendous growth in thoracic surgery in our community. The problem with cardiothoracic surgery is that the cardiac element tends to overshadow the general thoracic surgery. And I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon, so I can say this. If you can do a coronary bypass or a difficult congenital, you can literally do anything. So the cardiac surgeons have basically allowed thoracic surgery to slip into the background. But with the Thoracic Society and the wet labs that we've been able to have, this Gonzalez from Spain visited us a few years ago, and there's Gonzalez doing his uniportal thoracic surgery. We are now seeing more and more thoracic surgeons doing minimally invasive surgery. And I hope that when the society visits South Africa, some of you will take the opportunity and give us the privilege of visiting our medical schools and giving of your expertise. Beautiful, beautiful country. Don't go directly there, you can go home first. I think by visiting our theatres, probably learned more from Gonzalez and subsequently Alan Seo from Hong Kong. Certainly they stimulated our young surgeons to look for more knowledge. That's the head in Pretoria. You can see so last year, or this year, the Pan-African Thoracic Society joined us, and this is a new society. This is the second conference they've had. The next conference will be in Cameroon, and again, this is an opportunity to spread the knowledge of thoracic surgery. But you come to South Africa not only to have a wonderful conference, but also to visit our magnificent game parks, and they really are good. Most of these pictures are my own, as Don Nuss showed us some of his pictures. Some of them are not, but you get pretty close to the animals. And not to forget that these are wild animals. This rhino, 100 meters, will outrun any human being. It gets tired after that, but if you can keep out of his reach for 100 meters, you're okay. But the truth is, a rhino, a hippo, great big hippo, kills more people than any other animal. Don't get within 100 meters of the hippo either. They'll also outrun you and kill you. These are the big five, the lion, magnificent lion. These are not my pictures. The rhino, the elephant, the buffalo, and the leopard. Great, great. Remember, in Africa, for those who are joining, every morning a gazelle, when it wakes up, it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle or it will starve. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. So this hyena, when God made the animals, he had done all the animals, and he came to the end of the day, and he had a lot of spare bits left behind. So he put them all together, and that's the hyena. Every single zebra is different. It's like a fingerprint. They're all different. And those who go to Cape Town, really August is the beginning of the whale season. That's my wife with me in Hermanus. And these whales you can see literally from the cliffs. And I've counted up to 50 whales in Hermanus on one day. Ardmore, again, the story of Ardmore, the best art of Africa is as good as any that you'll see. It's just much younger. Ardmore is a group, they started in 1985 to create employment for the unemployed in the mountains of the Drakensberg. And this has gone today to some of their artwork is all over the world. The Queen of England, for instance, has Ardmore in her collection. And if you Google Ardmore, you'll see it's absolutely amazing. And they will, in fact, be exhibiting at the conference next year. And you'll be able to purchase some of their work. The Pretoria University are our hosts. And this is a formal invitation to the society to join us. We will be having parallel sessions where we will have the opportunity of addressing the physicians. There will be about 200 to 300 pulmonary physicians, both adult and pediatric. The theme of the Congress is challenging beliefs. And when I think of Donald Nuss, I think of how he challenged Ravitch. Mark Ravitch was an absolute icon in the 80s. He was the world pediatric surgeon. And in fact, he introduced the staples that we all use that became USSC. He started the company, United States Surgical Corporation, which today is Medtronic. So that was Ravitch, an absolute giant, and about 6 foot tall, big man, and Donald Nuss from Cape Town, he trained in Cape Town, as you all know, challenged Ravitch, and so an honor to have Don at our meeting next year. Donald Nuss is a Cape Town graduate. Cape Town University is still one of the top universities in the world, rated in the top 50. And I hope some of you will be able to visit Cape Town University, visit the Heart Transplant Museum, always a great place to visit. And Table Mountain, the trip up Table Mountain is, I think, better than going up the Lotte World Center, Professor Park. And of course, the wine route. Some of our wet labs. Cape Town, Robben Island is where Nelson Mandela spent so many years and came out without bitterness, an ability to unite our country, something we never ever imagined would be possible. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. That comes from Nelson Mandela. And there's so many things. It always seems impossible until it's done. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. I never lose. I either win or I learn. And there's so many more. In school, we learn the lessons before we take the test. In life, we take the test before we learn the lesson. So, welcome to South Africa. I'm looking forward to all of you. Those who would like to join us at the game park, please answer the email which will come to the society. And I hope all of you will take the opportunity to enjoy some of the beauty of my country as well. Thank you very much.
We're going to close this session, and our host and president, immediate past president, will say a few words.